What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about one of the forgotten heroes in Dota, it feels like. We're talking about Primal Beast today, and we're talking about why this hero has a pretty more or less atrocious win rate when it comes to offlane, but a pretty decent win rate when it comes to mid lane. So he's currently sitting at a 48% win rate in the offlane, but is sitting at a 51% win rate in the mid lane. So that tells you that right now in the offlane his matchups are kind of rough, but in the mid he is seeing a little bit more shine and doing a little bit better than most mid laners. However, this is a hero I haven't seen in such a long time. I was feeling a little bit bored and I was feeling a little bit spicy as well, and I wanted to pick something different and play something different from the mid lane. And I just looked at the heroes and I just looked at my left and I saw Primal Beast and I just said, wow, I haven't seen this hero played in a while. I haven't seen this at a tournament. I haven't seen this hero whatsoever. I honestly forgot this hero existed. So I played a few games and I did notice that the hero was really strong. And now, not broken or anything like that. I just noticed that the hero can still push tempo, can still do a lot of very good plays, and can still farm extremely quickly. So you can take advantage of this hero as well. However, you do need to keep in mind that one of the biggest factors why Primal Beast isn't played is the amount of stuns and heavy CC that most lineups have in this deathball meta don't really benefit Primal Beast. You don't want to be stunned, you don't want to be slowed, you don't really want to be CC'd to death because you really rely on being able to move in and out of team fights with your trample. You rely on being super fast to do even more damage with your trample. So going up against heroes with heavy stuns and heavy slows, heroes like Venomancers, Lions, Shadow Demons, these heroes can make your life a living hell and are gonna make your matchups very difficult. And yes, you can farm very quickly, but at the end of the day, if you are playing mid Primal Beast, everybody expects you to be super active. Nobody really expects you to be taking stacks and being super greedy. This hero is picked to push tempo and be all over the map with very little farm. The hero does not need a whole lot of items, just needs XP. This hero, once he gets phase boots and a soul ring, it's go time. You're not waiting for any extra items. You rush phase boots and you are online, you're ready to go. You're ready to make plays with your level 6 and start pulverizing your enemies. That is what this hero is all about. So if your plan is to be a very greedy mid laner and just farm constantly, Primal Beast should not be your choice. However, if it's a very slow game, nothing's really going on, your team doesn't really need you in the side lanes, obviously go get some extra farm. It's not going to hurt you, obviously. So definitely do that. But other than that, you're going to be very active and play accordingly. I hate seeing people playing passive on heroes that are meant to be really aggressive and space creators. This is what this hero does best. I think this hero will be buffed in the next patch. I think he does need a little bit more just to be able to be 100% more viable. I don't think this is a first pick hero or anything like that. I think you should still pick Primal Beast last pick. That way you know what your matchups are, especially what supports you're going up against, because in the mid lane, it is pretty difficult to shut down the Primal Beast. It has to be heroes like Viper, Huskar, heroes of this nature that just pretty much stomp any melee hero. Other than that, you're gonna have a pretty good time in the mid lane. Let's talk about your typical build on Primal Beast. So on Primal Beast mid, you're gonna have a bottle, and then you're gonna go into a bracer or a null talisman. Typically both are really good because this hero consumes so much mana and has such a weak mana pool. You need that extra mana. Or a wand. If you're gonna get very high value and the mid laner you're going up against casts a lot of spells, you can easily get away with a wand and not go for a null talisman at all. So if you end up going for a bracer, you get the soul ring. If you get the null talisman in the bottle, that should be more than enough to keep you sustained with your mana pool. But the soul ring is also a really good option if you don't want to get the bottle. But usually from the mid lane, you get so much value from having the bottle, you should pretty much have it all the time. And then you're going straight into phase boots. You try and get it as fast as possible. You could even go phase boots right after your bottle and then go back for the soul ring or the wand or whatever it may be. And then you go straight for blade mail. This item is going to activate you. It's going to make you do more damage around the map, and it's going to make enemy heroes think twice before dealing a lot of damage to you, especially these pesky matchups that do a ton of poke damage. They're going to be suffering a lot more because you have this blade mail. And then you go for a BKB and an Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim Scepter is extremely underrated on this hero, especially up against heroes that you can benefit from the break. Heroes like Kunkka, Phantom Assassin, heroes like Spectre, Viper, all these heroes that you can break and do a ton of damage to with your Aghanim Scepter. It's always going to be good. It's a very large AoE and always going to be really good damage. I don't see this item nearly enough, and I think the shard is extremely underrated as well. I don't think you should purchase it. Usually you'll get it from Tormentor, as you're not super greedy on the hero, so you're typically not the most farmed hero on the map most of the time. Sometimes you will be, obviously. You're having a very snowbally game, but typically you can get this item from Tormentor Tormentor, but if you see that you're not getting it from Tormentor, then pick it up because it is a pretty good shard. It can easily set up some kills you weren't typically gonna get, as it does have a pretty big range and it is pretty simple to land. And then you could eventually go back for items like Orchid or AC to be even more aggressive and get much faster solo pickoffs. These items are pretty good, but they're very situational, or you can get items like Hex to help you catch a little bit better. Pretty much anything to make your ability in the fights to do more damage or to go for solo pickoffs is going to benefit you quite well. Or items like Sanjanyasha if there is a ton of CC, and on top of your BKB, it's going to make you a lot more difficult to kill and a lot more peskier around the fights. You could also get an Octarine, very good on the Primal Beast. You already have pretty decently short cooldowns, but with an Octarine it's even better, so you're able to be even more active and even more aggressive and do even more damage. Now let's talk about some of the best and worst matchups for the Primal Beast. Some of the best matchups are Phantom Lancer, Phantom Assassin, Sniper, Naga Siren, Zeus. These heroes you do very well up against, and most of these heroes you can easily beat. Zeus is a little bit more difficult when it comes to the laning phase, but once you can get on top of him and maybe silence him with an Orchid, or you have someone on your team that can silence them or maybe hold them down, otherwise they're going to heavily jump away or cancel your charge with a lightning bolt, then you could have a little bit of problems. But other than that, the matchup is pretty solid. You're going to be farming in that lane. Heroes like Sniper that are extremely pesky, especially in low MMR. I get asked all the time, how do you beat a Sniper in lane? One of the best matchups against Sniper is Primal Beast. Now you do get hit quite a lot, but you can easily close the gap onto the Sniper. You could trample him, you can pulverize him, and he will die. If you are missing a little bit of damage, you can always call up a support to back you up and get a very free kill all the time, and you're gonna make the Sniper pretty much feel scared for his life and not really be this very aggressive hero that a lot of people like to play Sniper very aggressively. He's definitely gonna have to watch out if there's a Primal Beast in the game. Some of the bad matchups are Viper, Huskar, Juggernaut, Weaver, Lion, Shadow Shaman, Clockwork, and Grimstroke. So pretty heavy list when it comes to heroes that are good up against you. Pretty much any hero that can silence, stun, or pretty much make your life a living hell doing a lot of burst damage, you will have issues with. Even though you are kind of tanky, sometimes it feels like you're not that tanky and you're very fragile. It depends on what lineup you're going up against. You typically don't want to be slowed or stunned. That's when you start seeing a bunch of issues, and that's when you have to go first item BKB or at least the Sanjanyasha to be able to get that status resistance and to be able to be a lot tankier. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about Primal Beast? Have you guys been seeing this hero a lot more often in your pubs? Personally, I have not seen this hero in months. It's like the hero doesn't exist, and I think the hero deserves a lot more love from the mid lane. Has a pretty solid win rate. It just needs to be played into the right matchups and have a very good laning phase and be very active with your team, and you will be successful on the Primal Beast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, consider subscribing and joining the Dota Chronicles community, and leave a comment. Let me know if Primal Beast is your favorite hero in Dota. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.